Aeronautical exhibition, one of many which take place every year all over the world. Aerobatic aircraft RAN 7 performs its demonstration flight. Aircraft of this type are known for their wings to be designed so that to limit negative overloads appearing during performing or upside-down aerobatics. It looks like this pilot has yet gone too far. An unlucky Rons is descending already onto the ground with parachute recovery system canopy. Such systems are manufactured only by several companies in the world. One of them, and the only one in Russia, is MVEN Film LLC in Kazan. Start of the company activity was associated with the appearing of new types of air vehicles in our country – motorized hang gliders.
В то время я закончил Казанский авиационный.
At that time, I've graduated from the Kazan Aviation Institute and was a member of the Soviet National Parachute Jumping Team. So the subject of parachutes was very familiar to me. As a professional, I understood that lads which have some problems with their motorized hang gliders have no opportunity to rescue themselves. At that moment, there appeared desire to create such a system which would rescue one at low altitudes.
Сделать такую систему, которая бы спасала на малых высотах.
History of MVEN Film LLC parachute recovery systems is a good example of how important it is to appear at the right moment in the right place. At the turn of 90s, young team of designers was supported not only by Voluntary Association for Assistance to Army, Air Force and Navy, but also by big aircraft building plants and design bureaus. MVEN got everything necessary to design and test parachute recovery systems, including flying vehicles. Today, it's difficult to imagine such a disinterested assistance. However, resoluteness was also very important. Parachute jumper Viktor Yermolenko performed first tests himself.
Обычно в таких делах находятся, соратники, которые нашлись.
Usually some like-minded fellows appear in such situations. This time we found them in Tashkent. We showed them the recovery system and performed ground tests to them. They liked it. I asked them if they could give us the motorized hang glider so we could perform tests, and they agreed, provided we would make such a recovery system for them. We agreed to that too. They gave us motorized hang glider for testing. In the evening, I learned to pilot it, and in the morning, I performed tests.
Вечером я научился летать, а утром сел в него и провел испытания.
Abroad, quick-acting recovery systems appeared almost at the same time as in Kazan, but they were different in action principle. While foreign systems use rocket which pulls the canopy out of the container fastened on the aircraft, MVEN systems use firing charge to throw out container with parachute, and only after this, pulling out and deployment happens. A downside of such system is blowback of the firing mechanism, but certain advantage is throwing out of the parachute in packed condition, as this excludes tangling and damaging of canopy and ropes during contact with air vehicle construction. Requirements for such parachutes are rather controversial. They should be light but strong and of minimum size.
Парашютная система должна обеспечивать определенную скорость снижения, учитывая, что парашютная система.
The parachute system shall provide a certain speed of descending, taking into consideration the fact that the recovery system is not an element of standard landing. The system can be either activated or not. But all designers of air vehicles want such a system to have minimum weight. That is why we are constantly looking for new, modern, strong materials, perform researches and introduce these materials into our parachute equipment.
Проводим исследования и внедряем эти материалы в нашей парашютной технике.
Recovery parachute system cost is not very high. It makes 1/4 to 1/3 of cost of engine of the air vehicle, onto which the recovery system is installed. Recovery parachute systems have been installed onto Yak-52, Su-26, Cessna 152, 172 and 182. Aeropract Bekas. Parachute recovery systems for L-29 has been made. MVEN Film can design systems for any kind of aircraft. Taking into consideration the fact that recovery system strength shall be enough in case of its activation at high flight speeds, the task is rather difficult. That is why MVEN Film LLC uses only best fabrics for manufacturing of parachutes. Quick-acting recovery parachute systems of MVEN Film are known all over the world. Also, situation in aircraft manufacturing in Russia influences all the aeronautical equipment suppliers. Now, besides recovery system for motorized hang gliders and light aircraft, parachute recovery system for aircraft exceeding 4 tons are being designed by MVEN Film LLC.
География у наших систем.
The geography of our systems is the entire world. Our systems are used in Latin America, North America, Europe, in countries of the former USSR. And of course, we should say that all the aircraft market is in the USA. Last time, we were often asked to install recovery systems onto different aircraft. That is why we'll continue to work in this direction.
Соединенных Штатах Америки.
In accordance with statistics, 3% of total quantity of systems supplied have been activated by customers. Others are only serviced. Today, MVEN Film knows about 30 cases of successful application of its recovery systems. Many of those have been saved, write letters in which they thank for saving their lives. However, real statistics in Russia does not always become widely known. Because of understandable reasons, aviators sometimes keep back crash cases. However, MVEN Film all the same discovers they have happened when systems are brought for repacking. As everything new in aviation, parachute recovery systems first seemed as something suspicious. Perhaps it's better to fight to the end than rely onto a system which is not known to work for sure. But one cannot argue with statistics. Using of parachute recovery systems increased flight safety in light and ultralight aviation many times. And the very fact we have modern technology of these systems in Russia makes one very optimistic. Aircraft MVEN 2 Farmer fights field pests. Besides aircraft-specific, there are many specific features which refer to biology, including pest peculiarities and life. Work on Farmer 2 first prototype was started by the company in 2001. Idea of the designers was to substitute light aircraft re-equipped for aerial application by modern specialized agricultural aircraft.
Мы начали с того, что мы начали делать парашютные системы. Вот я думаю, что
We started with manufacturing parachute recovery systems. I think this shows very well our attitude to aviation. Safety shall be in the first place. What is an ultralight aircraft? It's a kind of all-time high, showing that man wants to fly and can do this using cheap method. And when a hopper with chemicals is attached onto the aircraft manufactured with minimum reserve factor in accordance with design requirements, the aircraft is overloaded, and it is not safe for pilots.
Самолет, и он летит на двигатели, то это небезопасно всегда для пилотов.
Aircraft building at MVEN was started from executing orders for manufacturing of different composite aggregates. A big advantage was experience accumulated during designing and manufacturing of recovery parachute system containers, requirements for which are very strict. So new aims were set at that time. New designing bureau and manufacturing was formed. There appeared opportunity to create something of company's very own. While creating Farmer 2, designers introduced onto the project maximum possible aerodynamic quality, good controllability and high level of passive safety for pilot. Everything that increases flight effectiveness and safety at low altitudes. Today, designers of MVEN Film LLC work on new aircraft MV500, which is an advanced variant of Farmer 2.
What is the main difference of MV500? It differs mainly in weightlifting capacity. This aircraft can lift 500 kilos of chemicals. It also uses another engine. Installed on the aircraft is 6-cylinder Lycoming O540, derated specially for low-octane gasoline. We also installed a hydraulic propeller Hauptzell onto it, one of the best propellers in its class.
A chemicals hopper volume makes 500 liters. This allows to use not only liquid but also dry powder-like substances. This will considerably increase MV500 application range compared to ultralights. Today, dry fertilizers are applied using N2, but MV500 exceeds it greatly in aspect of commercial effectiveness. Besides this, several solutions are provided in MV500 design which solve common problem of specialized agricultural aircraft, operating them during off-season. Second cockpit with controls can be installed instead of hopper, and the towing lock is installed already in the tail part of MV500 fuselage, so that the aircraft could be used for glider towering. However, even more simple Farmer 2 proved its effectiveness and price effectiveness as well. To show this, it's enough to say that efficiency of the aircraft is 10 times higher than that of ground equipment.
Вот когда мы отработали первый год на полях, да, и когда...
When we finished our first year of aerial application fields, we encountered difficulties of getting payment for our work. Very often, agricultural administration does not have money to pay and offers, for example, to pay with grain. Once, our one small aircraft earned us 60 tons of grain during 2 months. At that time, we had about 50 people on the staff of the company. A man consumes about 1 ton of grain per year if we calculate this for meat, milk and bread. And I thought, okay, our company staff will not starve even having just one aircraft.
Я подумал, вот с голоду мы уже с одним самолетом предприятие не помрет.
CNC milling machine cuts molds for the future composite construction. Besides CNC milling machines, MVEN Film LLC has longest in Europe autoclave furnace for hot curing of big parts. As practice shows, experience of workers is very important while working with composites, so many former model airplane builders work at the company. Generally, MVEN Film LLC has no problems with qualified specialists because of having Kazan State Technological University and big aircraft building plants in